What's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. I have a special guest checking in, but you got to stay tuned to see who it is. Hey, and there he is. He goes by the name of Zeke Raw. What's going on, bro?
You already know, we here. Yeah, man.
Hey, you dig, man. Listen, shout out to you for joining me today. This is our second time doing this, so I appreciate you taking us some time here on Industry's Most Wanted. You just wrapped up a studio session, you being productive, but without further ado, man, give us that official introduction.
It's your boy Zeke Raw, you know what I'm saying? I'm originally from New Jersey, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of Philadelphia. I just moved from Miami, Florida. Spent 11 years out there just grinding with the music, networking, meeting people, you know what I'm saying? Just putting in the footwork, you know what I mean? And now I'm out here in Atlanta and we doing what we do, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real. And that's what you got to do, man. Like within this music business, you have to stay active, move around. I moved from Tampa to Atlanta, best decision ever. I love my city, but I knew in order for me to pursue what I wanted to do, I had to come to a city like Atlanta. So let's take it back though. Shout out to everybody checked in real quickly. We're on Facebook, 2 Facebook accounts. We're on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time. So if you guys are tapped in, leave a comment so we can know that you're here. We appreciate you guys tapping in. Take us back though, before you started doing music, right? Like before you really started doing music, did you aspire to do something different?
Um, you know, I kind of already had a vision for myself with film. Um, I just it just always like intrigued me, you know what I'm saying? As far as the levels of entertainment. But I felt like I felt like music, it was its own voice, you know what I'm saying? And I looked at different celebrities like, Will Smith, the Ice Cubes, the Tyrese's, it's a lot of them to name, but they all had something in common. They kind of like, you know, was with the music and then mastered that and moved and stepped into the lane of film as far as acting. And, to me, I felt like, you know, I know what I have, what it takes as an artist. I know who I am as a person. I'm very dedicated. I'm definitely a go-getter, and I feel like, I must take it one step at a time. I feel like if I can accomplish getting into the rap game and establishing myself as an artist, and just planting my flag, then definitely I know I could take over as far as entering that lane when it comes to film. And it's just that vision of wanting to help not only myself, reach that next level, but others as well.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about in life is of course we got to help ourselves, but it's always dope to help others as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's our purpose. Like our purpose is not just to be selfish, but to be selfless and help others, whether it's, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. If we're in a position to do so, that's what we got to do.
I believe that. I believe that
So,
wholeheartedly.
yeah, so tell us how you really got started doing music. I love to understand people's journeys and everybody else does as well because, you know, you didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm Zeke Raw. How y'all doing? Like it took work to get to where you're at. So tell us about that
Yeah.
process getting started.
I mean, if, okay, put it like this. I never wanted to do rap. You know what I mean? I always was a fan for sure, but I felt like I didn't want to do rap because everybody wanted to be a rapper, and I felt like, you know, in the early '80s and early '90s, at one point, that was like the golden era as far as back-to-back hits from different artists, and they
Facts.
were they were in a very creative space at that time. Now,
Right.
in this new generation, I feel like there's less substance as far as the message to the music, so that leads people to go in the wrong direction in real life in real time.
Right.
So, my whole aspect of it is, just about uplifting and, motivating. We ain't gotta, throw our life away to the system and, just nonsense. You know what I'm saying? We can actually, be better in life and be great. You know what I'm saying? At that,
Yeah. Finding another way, because it's real easy to get caught up in the streets and get caught up doing stuff that we know we're not supposed to do, but it might be quick, easy money. It might look like the cool thing to do, but that's also going to put you in a position to where you might not be able to get out of, right?
Definitely.
So, with that being said, music was the route that you decided to take. So, for the people who haven't had the opportunity to hear your music, which we're going to drop a couple of your joints today,
Hmm.
what do you want them to vibe? Like, what type of vibe do you want them to catch when they hear your music for the first time?
I mean, you know what? Like, listen, honestly, I seen this interview one time. If we're being honest, I said this in the first time we met. I like to be very transparent. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like in life, um, there's a lot of times where people try to create things that you know they're trying to be somebody they're not. Long story short, and I seen this interview with Lil Wayne one time, and he said, when he go into the booth, because they was asking about his creative space and how he comes up with the material as far as the records, and he basically said, you know, when he goes in the studio, he doesn't like, try to create it. He just lets it like basically come out of him. Like he oozes, the chemistry of the record once he
Absolutely.
hears it. And
Right.
me personally, I took that same, approach. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I don't write. I don't write anything at all. Like, let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? So any record that you ever hear, from Zeke Raw is gonna be like, okay, I heard the beat and this is how it made me feel, and I genuinely, literally put it together piece by piece like a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally my how I create. So,
Right.
um, I just said that as far as me knocking out 4 records, and I'm in there handling business as far as not recording. You know what I mean? But it's relevant to my craft. So, I basically look at the greats, who did it before me, and I kind of like, put it in my own way, you know what I mean? And it comes out how it comes out. And my name, my name is Zeke Raw, so I feel like I want my music to definitely be raw. I want my music to be organic. I want my music to be, just not tainted, not tampered with, literally. When you see me on stage, you get that vibe, you get that feel, you get that
Yeah.
energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to make people feel good. You want to give good energy, positive vibes because there's enough craziness already in this world. We don't need to
Yeah,
add to it. We want to help take away from that craziness and promote positive vibes, positive energy because a lot of people need that right now.
a lot of people need that right now. A lot.
It's crazy out there. People get stressed out because of gas prices and there's a whole war going on. I'm like, dang,
That's a whole nother situation
right.
right
That
there.
could
You
be
know
a
what I
whole nother
mean?
show right there, like
Yeah,
with the
that's
crap that's going on, man.
how that go. You know what I mean?
So let's talk a little bit more in depth about your creative process because I understand you don't write at all. You get in the studio, you catch a vibe, and you like you said, you just let it flow out of you. And I respect that because and there's nothing wrong with being a writer whatsoever, whatever your creative process is, but the way you do it, I think it's the most organic because it's the emotion that you're feeling on the spot right then and there is what you're able to deliver in your music. Talk to us about what you're talking about. Where is it coming from?
I feel like it comes from having it within you already,
Yeah.
and then it's one of those things where it's like, you know, Will Smith had a movie. It was called The Pursuit of Happiness, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
If you look at that movie from the beginning to the end and you don't catch the concept of struggle, perseverance, consistency, and then eventually success, you're
Right.
blind. You're blind. You're blind.
Absolutely.
And to me, I approach not only life first in that aspect and that perspective, but I have aligned it right with the music.
Yes.
Does that make sense or no?
It makes absolute sense, most definitely, because whose story can you tell other than your own? Like
That
you could
part.
talk about what you see other people experience. That's cool, but this is your story. This is your journey.
Definitely.
So it's really all about giving people you and making them respect what you got going on, right?
Definitely.
So you just were in the studio today, and we had a conversation before we got started that one of the things that you did was you got some business done as well. And that's
Correct.
really important. I want to talk about that a little bit more in depth because that's where a lot of artists lack. And it's not to throw shade, just some of them don't know any better, right? When you're in the studio creating music, you should get the business done right then and there. Make sure you and your producer or your engineer, you get them split sheets done. You know what I'm saying? Like that way you ain't got to circle back. Get the producer agreements. You're going to need that if Netflix ever wants to pick up your song, you got to have a producer agreement in place, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you try to circle back around to these producers and you can't get in touch with them now. Now, if you can't get in touch with them, you can't do nothing with that song. Slick. You could get sued in the long run. So I think it's dope that you're handling business right there on the spot. Talk about how important that is to you.
Well, I feel like a lot of people not gonna be transparent, so I'm just gonna give you my version of what I did and my thought process. Now, granted, before I even speak upon it, I want to also keep in mind that a lot of times in life is A to Z, but not a lot of people can bring Z to A and it still makes sense as if it was A to Z. So in my situation, what I did was I kind of created a lot of material when it comes to the music, and I also created a good amount as far as when it comes to the music videos, full length, and
Yes.
actual great quality as far as that goes. But I kind of just sat on it, you know what I mean? I kind of just kept it in my phone, and I didn't put it on the internet. I didn't put it out in to the general public because I felt like you know I was sitting back. I sat back and I kept just studying the game as a student to the game, and I just kept seeing how artists was still getting jerked over, and I'm like, what do I need to do? You know what I'm
Right.
saying, to put myself in a position where, God forbid, my it goes in my favor. I don't get jerked over. If anything, I want it to be set in stone, and then it takes off, and I don't have those issues. So what I told my engineer is, today, like literally, is hey, check this out. We are going to do 4 hours of work, but I'm going to spend at least minimum 2 hours with the sound exchange, with the registration of BMI, with, just the element of connecting my brand YBK Entertainment to all my songs and monetization as far as YouTube, just the particulars, you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Most
I,
definitely.
I told him, I said, listen, bro, I can come in here and I can record a million songs, but if I don't get this business right, then it don't make sense. You
It
know what I'm
don't make
saying?
sense. Period. You're throwing your money out the window.
Literally, and it's like I didn't invest it. Listen, I don't even want to talk about the money part of it, but just know that I mean, I invested a lot as well as my time. I feel like Zeke Raw as a person. I'm from New Jersey. I lived in Philadelphia. I moved to Miami, Florida. I lived there for 11 years, and I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been here for 90 days. When I tell you, I respect both sides when it comes to Atlanta, Georgia, and when it comes to Miami, Florida, because I feel like in Atlanta, Georgia, there's an opportunity for you to be literally whoever you choose to be.
Man, say it again. That's the biggest facts ever.
And it's like you will never know that until you actually take that, risk and jump off the porch and see, what it is and what you can do. Because a lot of people have great things as far as dreams in mind, but never had a heart or the courage to really invest in themselves to the point where they believe in themselves to make it to the next level. But sit back and watch others do it and become fans, which is cool. But
Right.
it just don't make sense to me. I'd rather handle the business side because I believe in my music, I believe in my brand, YBK Entertainment, and I didn't come this far leaving my family, my friends, everything I know, everything I grew up with as far as up north, to get this far and just lose and just like what, just like quit? No, I'm
Yeah, we
going
ain't doing
to.
all that.
Nah, I'm going to do what I set out to do, and once I accomplish that, people are watching just like this interview right here. People are
Yes.
watching, and they're gonna follow my journey. My biggest downfall, honestly, and I don't regret it, what I'm saying, is waiting too long as far as the documentation when it comes to social media. I waited way too long out of my boundaries. So I'm at a point now where, as an artist in my career where everything is on the table, everything counts, and I'm not playing about Zeke Raw and YBK. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's a narrative and a message every superstar artist has out there. And it's like if you get the right message, just like Tupac Shakur said back in the day, like, they say, they got money for wars but can't feed the poor. That's relevant. It's wars going on right now, and there's people out here struggling. And it's like,
Right.
I'm not going to get on and rap and make all this money and flaunt in front of those people and taunt those people. If anything, I'm going to get on and rap, and I'm going to make sure I become a part of the solution to, better that situation. You know what I'm saying? So my vision when it comes to rap and then when it comes to film is different, because it's like with the rap, that's going to be the audio. But with the film, you're actually going to see what's going on.
Right. And people, we're in a digital streaming era now. People want to see rather than just hear. So you got to
Facts.
produce content. And I felt what you said a minute ago, because like you said, you waited too long to start documenting. Bro,
Yeah.
I feel the same way, because when I started radio and interviewing, I started 12 years ago. Back then, Instagram didn't exist yet. And podcasting didn't really slick exist. I guess I was a little bit ahead of my time, because I was slick doing podcasting before podcasting was a thing, but I
Right.
wasn't documenting it. I was just doing live, like phone or in-person interviews, but I had no video, none of that stuff. And then over the last couple years is when I realized, you know what, I got to really start documenting this. So I feel the same way. Like I wish I could go back and document all that stuff, but now we know and now we're doing it, right?
And that's why we're going so hard, and that's why we're so passionate about it. I know you passionate. I see you out here working
Yes,
with thousands of artists, and I honor that, because you know what, like I told you when I first met you and we first had our interview, like, your platform is mandatory. I don't care what anybody says,
I
you know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that.
And there's other platforms as well that's out there,
Yeah,
but
a
as
lot of
far
great
as
ones for sure.
as but as far as when Atlanta based, yours is definitely one of the top ones. So that's why when I'm in Miami, I'm doing my research. I'm watching what you're doing. So when I get here, okay, now it's time to meet her, and it's time to go ahead and tell my story to the world.
And I'm so grateful that you're going to be a part of my 10-year anniversary celebration for
Yeah,
Industry's
yeah,
Most Wanted.
yeah. You already know that's mandatory. And listen, first of all, let's be clear. When I see your name on the flyer, I'm like, I'm definitely doing it. And then when I see Big Rankin, I'm like, both of them together, that's a win-win. I can't
Listen,
lose. I can't
it's
lose.
gonna be an epic night,
Yeah,
and it just means a lot to me, because like I said, when I first started doing radio, it was 12 years ago. The first 2 years, I didn't really have a brand because I was still kind of learning. 2 years in, I developed Industry's Most Wanted brand, and it's been that ever since. So
all right.
10 years later, it's a milestone. So I'm grateful that you're a part of that. So when you hit that stage on March 24th, what can people expect?
Listen, man. Like, man, we don't do too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know there's gonna be a lot of great dope vibes, a lot of great dope energy. I'm excited to meet everybody that's gonna be in the building. And I just feel like it's tough for me because it's like I got a nice little catalog of music that I kind of stored on my phone. So it might be 10 records in my phone where I feel like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. I want because they all individually got their own little thing as far as being,
Understood.
you know what I mean? So it's really tough for me, to pick one or two records. But I feel like for that particular event, knowing the people that's gonna be there and knowing the hard work that it took to put together, I'm definitely gonna have to, do my research within the next week or so as far as coming up with the two records out of the couple that I got and really put on a great, magnificent, outstanding show for the people.
Absolutely. And one piece of advice that I always give artists, and this is something you may already do, but I'll just throw it out there. When you pull up to an event like that where you're going to perform that night, before you hit that stage, work the room and introduce yourself to as many pieces as people as possible. What's good, man? I go by Zeke Raw. I'm performing tonight. I hope you enjoy my performance. By you planting that seed before you get on the stage, you got a better
Yeah,
chance of them tuning in and actually wanting to see your performance. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
cause you're ignited the fire at that point. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Right,
And
right.
I know you ain't. I know you telling the truth because honestly, I just actually did like a live show here in Atlanta. By a host named Live with Carisha. She's a dope.
Oh yeah, Carisha the Diva.
Listen, she's awesome, and I support her. I support her 100% the same way I do you. And I feel like, you know what, I support. I'm proud of both of you ladies for actually creating, respectable platforms for
Absolutely.
upcoming
She is
artists
super dope
like
at what she
myself.
does.
Yeah, Carisha's awesome. I appreciate it. But ultimately, what I want to say is, that's how I, kind of got my start. She was one of the first people that interviewed me in Miami, and then I continued
Oh
the
no.
relationship. Yeah.
No, and that's what it's all about is once you build a relationship, you want to continue building that relationship because as we know, relationships are going to put you in certain positions that money cannot because it gets to a point where people just want to rock with you because they just think you're a cool person. You get what I'm saying? They're like, man, I see his grind, he's working, let's just work. And on the opposite side of that, if you come off with this a-hole attitude, that's going to put you in a terrible position. People don't want to work with someone like that, right?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
So let's check out one of your songs and then we're going to come back and chat some more. So Show Out is the record that we're going to check out first. Is that right?
That's definitely something to look forward to for sure.
So give us a little insight on the record. Who produced it?
Um, it's kind of one of those things where like I already had it in my email a while back, and I kind of found it. So
That's okay. You're gonna circle back around and get the producer. That's your
yeah,
homework.
yeah, yeah. I
Nah, ain't
gotta
no wrong with that. I feel you
check
because as
that
an
out.
artist, you probably get so many producers. Listen, I'm not even an artist, and I get producers emailing me beats like 3 or 4 times a week, and I'm not even an artist, so I can only
And
imagine as an artist how
yeah,
many you're getting.
I don't want to say his name wrong, so I apologize to the artist, but I'll get back to that, and we'll go from there.
It's all good. So we're gonna go ahead and check out some of the song. Introduce it for us.
Um,
My bad. I hit play before you introduced it. Go ahead.
it's all good. Listen, this is Zeke Raw. You know what I'm saying? You about to hear a show out, man. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'ma show out. Zeke
I'm
Raw,
gonna show
nigga.
out.
Show out.
Show out.
Yeah, I'ma show out. I'ma show out. Show out. Every time I'm on the scene, I'ma show out. Show out. Yeah, I'm ballin' with my team, I'ma show out. Show out. Bad bitches on the scene. Bad bitches. We gon' show out. We gon' show out. Every time I'm on the scene, I'ma show out. Bad bitches on my team, I'ma show out. Yeah, we fly up on the scene, we gon' show out. We gon' show out. We gon' show out. Yeah, I did it for my team, we gon' show out. Yeah, we so fresh and so clean, we gon' show out. Yeah, I'm stacking all this cream, we gon' show out. We gon' show out. We gon' show out. Zeke to the raw. I did it for my niggas, even locked behind that wall. My cousin just came home from doing like a dime. All over drugs and shooting up with a 9. It's a lot of time. You know that hurt me in my chest, in my heart. It felt like a bulletproof vest, but them slugs still penetrated. I had to wait, I hate it. I felt like I wanted my cuz, now I had to show out. Every time I'm on the scene, I'ma show out. Bad bitches on my team, I'ma show out. Yeah, we fly up on the scene, we gon' show out. We gon' show out. We gon' show out. Yeah, I did it for my team, we gon' show out. Yeah, we so fresh and so clean, we gon' show out. Yeah, I'm stacking all this cream, we gon' show out. We gon' show out. We gon' show out. Stacking all this cream, smoking on this kush. Man, I love this cream. Them $100 bills is a different feeling. Them $100 bills is a different feeling. It's pouring, it's like a rainfall. It's like a bad bitch. Her pussy so yeah. I'm talking smooth and it's clean like a motherfucker. I'm talking smooth and it's clean like a motherfucker. I like it shaved, she like the babe. Sophisticated ways, damn yeah, I love my babe. Boss ass chick when I first met her. Knew she had potential, yeah, I had to get it. Had to feel like it was me and her. Bonnie and Clyde, yeah, I ride with her. My king and the queen, yeah, I need the cash. Prince with a princess.
Hey.
The princess.
Listen, bro, that record's a whole vibe. Like, I really like how you delivered that song because it had kind of a melodic feel to it. And I'm a big fan of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you utilize your voice as kind of like an instrument. You messed around with your sound and got it like, man, that was dope. I really like that record, bro.
Don't gas me up. You know the prices is high. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I'm just
gas me.
I'm just keeping it all the way G. One thing about me is I'm gonna always keep it real because it don't do nobody no good to lie or try to gas you up if I'm not being honest. Like, that was a dope record. That's a record that I would go back and listen to over and over again. Like, it had that type of vibe for real.
I appreciate it a lot.
Man, what you got coming up, like, for the remainder of the year? Are you going to be working on any albums, EPs, visuals? What else you got coming up for the rest of the year that people can stay in tune for?
I'm like, I mean, it's really tough, man. Because honestly, I'm really battling like life with my dreams in that order. It's literally like this is life, and this is the music,
Right.
and you don't want to slip, you know,
You got to find
from
a balance.
you know what I mean. So it's like I'm doing a lot of shows. I'm doing a lot. I already shot multiple music videos. I just haven't physically put them on the internet. And again, that goes back to the business side of registering. Just make sure all of the paperwork is done first.
Yeah.
Publishing, everything is done first. So that way, once I release things and it goes into these different markets and these different platforms, it makes sense. Because I know personally myself, I ain't got no team. Let's be clear. Let me put that out there too, because a lot of upcoming artists need to know that. Just because you ain't got no manager, no PR, no DJ, no just thorough people behind you as far as a team to push you with this dream. You gotta believe in yourself. It's nights where I stay up late. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and all I do is just study the P Diddy's, the Jay Z's, the Dr. Dre's, the Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? I just study the moves. You know what I'm saying? The people who
Yeah.
are in the best position, and I look at it like everybody says the same thing: own everything. So that way, have leverage when it comes time for you to do business with other labels or whatever the situation may lead to.
Absolutely.
And to me, it's like, you can keep pounding that, pounding it, pounding it, but unless a person really, takes what you're saying and applies it, you'll be beating a dead horse. And I refuse to be that because I'm too intelligent, number one, as a person, let alone as an artist.
Absolutely. Again, it goes back to us saying every move you make has to make sense. And you have to study the people that you aspire to be like or be like what they're doing, the Diddy's and the Russell Simmons. Like, these guys are moguls. Like, these guys are real deal businessmen. And they're in a position that we aspire to be in, right? You know what I'm saying? Having multiple businesses, winning at everything that they're doing. So in order to get in those positions, you have to study guys and women like that, to make sure that we're making the same moves like that. Like the old saying goes, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just figure out the proven method of what works and follow that method. And that goes with studying the greats and applying the same steps and methods that they did along their journey. So I love what you said, that you sometimes just stay up late watching, whether it be interviews, documentaries, things of that nature. Is that something that you've thought about maybe doing? I know we touched on film earlier. Maybe at some point doing a documentary about your journey.
And that's relevant to what I said earlier as far as I started late as far as documentation. Like I can't, I come up in the Meek Mill era. Like that was one of my, you know, I would say I wouldn't say idols. I would say as far as that's like a serious word, but I would say I definitely was a major fan of his.
Yeah.
As well as 50 Cent at one point in time in high school. They used to call me Young 50, you know what I'm saying?
50's
But it was
gangster,
like,
y'all. He real
yeah, yeah.
gangster.
That was my name in high school. They used to be like 50, you know what I'm saying? Zeke Raw came kind of like during the Meek Mill era, you know what I'm saying? So, Meek is somebody that I definitely, look up to when it comes to being as an artist at the top of that game and, just having, the world in your palm, you know what I mean? I feel like his brand, Dream Chasers, it's relevant to my brand when it comes to being young black kings. You know,
Yeah.
it's apples and oranges, but it's still a fruit. You know what I mean? And my whole thing is, you know, I look at the game right now and I look at the artists right now, and I never throw shade or negativity towards anybody because it's not necessary. But I will say that it's not too many artists that I feel like once it's all said and done and Zeke Raw is out there in the household and the general public to the point where you know you could go to any platform and type in his name and hear his music. I don't see too many artists outside of Meek Mills. I ain't speaking about legends like Jay-Z and them. I'm just speaking about my generation.
Right.
Um, you know
Absolutely.
that I feel like is going to be an issue as far as rap and being the best of the best when it comes to rap in this generation being time. Granted, the people that's out right now and the people that's at the top right now as far as this generation, they where they supposed to be. Because you ain't got hungry artists like myself that's like literally starving to get that, you know what I mean, get that opportunity to show my talent and know the confidence that I have in myself as a person, let alone the things that's gonna come outside of rap.
Right. No,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I feel you, man, because this is what we hunger for. You like we wake up and we eat, breathe, and live this music business. You know what I'm saying? And
Some people don't take it serious. Some people don't take it
a
serious.
lot of people don't take it serious. And this is not to throw shade, but I'm gonna throw shade because I ain't afraid to speak my mind. I come across a lot of artists who are talented. I won't take that from them. They are talented, but they don't take the time to learn the business. And it's hard to take people seriously because anything you do in life, whether you are a doctor or a barber, you got to study that. You can't just walk into a barber shop and start cutting hair. You going to fuck someone's head up. You know what I'm saying? You can't go be a surgeon and start operating on somebody and never have learned how to do it. It's no different as a music artist, whether you're a rapper, country singer, whatever you do, you got to learn the business or you're hustling backwards. Don't do it and then 10 years from now decide to learn the business. You got to try to learn that early on because again, now you got to backtrack and you don't want to have to do that. But again, it's a learning process.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
so we got one more record from you that we're gonna check out. Before we do that and close all this out, I heard that you got somebody you want us to meet.
Oh yeah, check this out.
Take us on a journey. Let us
Yeah,
let us let us
this
meet your
you
friend.
know this my little man right here. Here you go right here. This
Hi,
little
baby.
this little Zeke
Oh,
right here. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
so cute. Oh, does he have a
Little Zeke.
sweater on?
Oh man, it's a hoodie. This ain't no sweater. He just fresh out. You know what I'm saying? He just got out the joint. You know what I'm saying? He out of that joint. You know what
It is cold out today out here in Atlanta. Like my car had ice on it this morning. So yeah, you got to keep the puppy warm too. He's so cute.
It's like, say what's up. He's like,
Oh, hi.
you see, he
Oh,
trying to lick me. I ain't got
that's
time. I'm about to put him back
oh.
in the cage. He's like, I
He
gotta
just
go.
he's just showing you love. He loves you. That's sweet. I'm such an animal lover. I'm such a sucker for animals. They're because they're like really our best friends. They love us unconditionally. Even if we yell at them, they still love us.
That's like my first little son right there.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So let's talk. We got another record that's called All I Would Do, right? All I Would Do. Tell us a little bit of insight on this song before we check it out.
This right here is you know, I'm about to really like change the game when it comes to the narrative because right now in the game, if you look at the rap game, it's a lot of violence and a lot of negativity. I'm about to really target the women. You know what I'm saying? And come up with the super dopest records possible relative to the women. You know what I mean? In this particular record, all I would do, this is catering to the women that need to be in a cherished position as far as respect and
Right.
as far as honor, you know, the fact that there's not too many good women out here. So the women that are valuable, you know what I'm saying, we gotta take that serious.
No, I love what you said. And in fact, I'm looking on my phone right now. There's an event that I'm going to be hosting. It's not until August, so it's down the road a little bit. But just to put it on your calendar, because it may be something that you want to attend. So it's in Columbus, Georgia, which is only 2 hours outside of Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So they have what's called the Tri-City Hip Hop Awards. Prior to the award show, there's a luncheon panel that I'll be moderating the panel. And one of the topics of discussion that we're going to have is violence in music, because there's a lot of that going on right now, right? Whether it be the music that people are creating, or people like Young Dolph and Snooty Wild and stuff who are losing their life. You just said you're going to change the game with that. I think that would be a dope event for you to be in attendance at, because that's a belief for you.
Let's do it. Listen, that's what I'm here for. At the end of the day, I'm here to. Tupac said, I may not change the world, but I'm going to spark the brain of someone who will. And I took that shit dead ass serious.
Yeah,
And
you got to.
especially if I'm in the music game. So with events like that, I'm being, whatever you need, I'm there. And I'm serious about it.
Absolutely. It's going to be August 20th, just to throw it out there. So you got plenty of time to plan for it. It starts at noon.
Is it a performance, or like what exactly, like what I be doing?
So no, well, there are performance opportunities. I'll get you that information. This particular portion of it, it's a panel. So there's going to be panelists, and I'm going to be the moderator. I'll be hosting and moderating the panel. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about, and I'm pretty sure they might allow people to chime in on it. We're going to be talking about like violence in the music industry. But to follow up with that, there's going to be performances and stuff. So I'll get you all the details on that. And it's outside of Atlanta. It's a whole nother city, a whole nother market. Because
that's what I need.
Alabama's right there too. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get you all them details, most definitely. Before we get into this record, there's 3 things we got to do. We got my homie Zeke Raw checked in today. Tell everybody where they can follow the movement. Where can they keep up with you on social media?
Listen, I need everybody to go to Instagram. I need you to type in Zeke Raw _305. And then my Facebook is pretty much just Zeke Raw. But me personally, I'll be on the Instagram a lot more. Facebook is like more like my family, but I'm heavy on the Instagram. So
Zeke Raw 305, right?
No, Zeke Raw _. There's an underscore and 305.
I'm typing it up so I can put it on the screen. Okay, so here we go. Like that? Is that right?
Perfect. I need everybody who watches this video to go there now.
You did. Next thing we got to do, man, tell anybody that's, supporting the movement, give them a shout out, show them some love.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to my man Biz here in Philadelphia. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Rico, my cousin John. Shout out to my mother, shout out to my sister, my brother, shout out to Carlos Brown. I'm working with him right now. He got Real Network Promotions.
Shout out to Carlos Brown. That's my dog.
Yeah. Listen, let me tell you about him. I ain't gonna be too long, but let me just say, to be around a person of his caliber that has definitely the right connections with major artists in the game right now, that speaks volumes. And I just actually left his studio. That's the only studio I really record at in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm cool on any other studio, and it's no shade. It's just I feel like I want to build my relationship, and it's all about, just investing in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, people see that.
Absolutely. And he's a good dude. He's definitely got many, many connections in the music business.
Definitely, for sure.
Last but not least,
my man DJ Epps too. Remember my man?
Shout out to my dog DJ Epps. He supports independent artists.
He's a good dude.
He is. Yeah, he is. And he from Florida too, y'all.
Yeah.
Last but not least,
that played my music.
Yeah, he's a real record breaker. He really gets on his Instagram live and does a whole set, you know what I'm saying? Supporting and breaking independent records. So we're live on the industry's most wanted podcast. We got the homie Zeke Raw checked in. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram. So let everybody know what makes Zeke Raw the industry's most wanted.
Listen, man, the industry ain't seen what Zeke Raw got to offer. At the end of the day, the only relevant people that could probably, hear where I'm trying to go is, I would say, Jay-Z. I would say, Dr. Dre. I would say P. Diddy Combs. 50 Cent. It's just to name a couple, and those people are in, the highest of the highest when it comes to the music business. And anybody else, I feel like they're gonna get in line. I'm trying to head to the front of the line. You know what I mean?
Get on board or get left behind. Period.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
That's what it boils down to. So listen, bro, I appreciate you being here today. I'm looking forward to you blessing the stage on March 24th. Crazy Atlanta, 8 p.m. The doors open. Performances start at 9 o'clock. Make sure you guys pull up because Zeke Raw gonna be blessing that stage. It's gonna be a whole vibe, y'all. So we about to get into this record. All I would do, go ahead and introduce it for us.
Yeah, it's your boy Zeke Raw. You about to listen to All I Would Do. This is for all the beautiful queens around the world. And I mean literally around the world. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Zeke Raw. That's why I BK forever shit. Forever shit. We live in the 8-0. Let's get it. All I do, yeah. All that I do, yeah. Baby girl, you know a young nigga gon' ride. Yeah, you know a young nigga gon' slide. Yeah, I'ma get the bag, bring it home. Yeah, and be loyal to my baby girl. Yeah, you know how I ride. Yeah, baby girl, I'ma slide. Yeah, baby girl, I'ma ride. Yeah. All I do. Yeah, no. I would do, yeah. You told me everything. I'm talking grow together. I'm talking have a family. We could be together. Yeah, prince and the princess. You my queen, I'm the king, and we the dream team. Yeah, all I would do. Yeah, no. I would do, yeah, I'm a ride girl, yeah, I'm a fucking slide. Baby girl, I'm your king, you know I'm a fucking ride. Ain't no nigga gonna step between me and you. I'ma stand tall and the pain for you. All I would do, yeah, girl's nothing that I wouldn't do, yeah. ZEEKRA, catch me at the W with your baby mom. 750 LI parked in front of that. Yeah, I'm hitting it from the back. Oh,
He said, catch me with your baby mama.
yeah, it's nothing that I wouldn't do. Yeah. I love my black queens. We gon' work together. We gon' grind. We gon' make it work together. Oh, I would do. Yeah. I love my baby girl. Yeah, she gon' ride. You know a real nigga always down to slide. It ain't nothing to a real nigga. I'ma hold you down. Real man stand tall. He gon' hold you down. Oh.